Hi everyone, I'm Ugo Lord, and this
Shh, don't say too much. They could be listening.
I hope they're listening. This is a YouTube show.
But what about government spies?
Mike, why are you worried about government spies? What do you have to hide?
Nothing.
You still have that unpaid parking ticket, don't you?
Shh. And I'm Mike Mandell.
Welcome to Hot Verdict.
Is the government tracking our data?
We have a very complicated relationship with privacy in this country. We're horrified at the idea that companies and agencies can track our data, yet we post every single thing we're doing onto our Instagram story.
But how much of our day-to-day life is the government really able to peep in on? And is it really more or less creepy than you stalking your ex's IG profile just to see how they're doing?
Ooh, don't do that. A majority of Americans believe that their online activities are being tracked and monitored by both companies and the government. Paranoid much?
Well, actually, they're pretty much right. Wow, the majority of Americans have been right about something that hasn't happened since Kelly Clarkson won American Idol in a landslide.
She really is America's treasure. She really is. However, this doesn't mean that there's an FBI agent assigned to watching you directly through your webcam all day.
Yeah, there sure isn't, because I outsmarted him a long time ago with a little piece of tape. Problem solved.
The way it actually works is that we allow our data to be tracked by private companies, like apps, social media companies, location services, etc. And then that data can be sold to third-party data brokers, who can sell it directly to government agencies when they request it specifically.
But I'm sure that's all in the terms and service agreements that we all definitely read very carefully.
A government report was released last year offering insight into the way this commercially available information is being unchecked by US intelligence agencies and how it poses a very real security risk to Americans.
So let me get this straight. The government released a report saying how we shouldn't trust the government? I don't trust it. Or do I trust it?
Don't trust it.
One example of the government using privacy data in ways that pose a threat is the federal agency ICE purchasing data in order to track down and deport illegal immigrants.
That is horrible. Who would have ever thought the agency ICE could be so cold?
So is this all legal? It sounds like it violates the Fourth Amendment, which does protect us from unreasonable search and seizures without a warrant. However, yes, it would be illegal for the government to get this data from us directly. But you see, the thing is that they're using a third-party data broker in order to be a middleman, which sells it to the government. And that creates a workaround that technically makes it legal.
So our Fourth Amendment rights are being violated by a third party? Wait a second. That's a first.
What's wrong with your fingers, Mike?
I don't know. Law enforcement used location data to track down people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. The data included about 100,000 location pings for thousands of smartphones, revealing around 130 devices inside the Capitol exactly when Trump supporters were storming the building.
Yeah, one crazy example is a defendant named Ronnie Vincent, who was tracked as having been present in the Capitol while everything was going on. When asked, he denied being there, saying, "There's no way that my phone shows me in there." But ladies and gentlemen, he literally posted selfies on Facebook from the Capitol steps, with the caption that said, "Yes, we got inside," which he later deleted.
I bet he deleted that. He actually responded that what he meant by that was that we, the people, got inside, and continued to claim that he personally was never there. So this is just one example of how data tracking can be a little bit helpful with identifying criminals, even though in times like this, they really didn't need much help when the criminal is literally posting, "Here's me doing a crime. Haha, I love crime," on their Facebook. He meant it rhetorically, of course.
Of course. Okay, so I don't love that the government can track my location and totally see how many times that I actually went to the gym versus the number of times that I said that I was going to the gym, that I went to In-N-Out. But fingers crossed, they'll be cool about it.
Oh, In-N-Out sounds good. But what about listening in on our phone calls? Are they wiretapping us at all?
Well, if they are, at least millennials and Gen Z have found a way around it by literally never talking on the phone ever. Good news, they can wiretap, but for the most part, they're probably not.
So you can continue to talk crap about Becky to Kelly and then hang up immediately and talk crap about Kelly to Becky without being worried an FBI agent is going to rat you out, totally blowing up your friendship circle.
Becky's annoying, so it's okay.
In order for the government to wiretap someone's phone calls, they need to first obtain a warrant from a judge.
I'm actually kind of offended now, to be honest with you, because they don't want to listen to any of my calls. And I don't understand why, because I'm very interesting, FBI. Call me.
Don't call him. The process of obtaining a warrant for wiretapping is cumbersome and difficult, requiring significant cause and evidence for suspicion of criminality.
Yeah, they have to go through several levels of high-level approval, fill out a lot of paperwork, wait to hear back. It's a whole process. Almost as complicated as trying to cancel your gym membership.
The types of crimes wiretaps are usually trying to target are usually very serious, like murder, espionage, more things that I can't say because we'll get demonetized.
However, it's important to keep in mind that even once the warrant is obtained, the wiretap doesn't just monitor the subject of the investigation, but it also monitors whoever the person is talking to.
Now that brings up an interesting story. The FBI and CIA both wiretapped Marilyn Monroe's phone during her love affairs with JFK and Bobby Kennedy. After she was rejected by both brothers at the end of their affairs, she was upset and would call and leave voicemails for the US Department of Justice, threatening to expose the Kennedys and go public with the affairs if they didn't get back to her.
Wow, using the CIA to keep track of your second ex-lover? That's worse than just ghosting.
Well, good thing it worked and no one ever found out about their affair.
Thank God. Secret till this day.
Is Alexa a government spy?
Now, in addition to our cell phones, a lot of people are increasingly concerned about the lack of privacy when it comes to our smart devices, such as Amazon's Alexa.
Are they always listening to us? Are they recording our conversations? Are they sharing everything with the government?
Focus, Mike.
Right. A lot of people are creeped out by the fact that in order for a smart home device to work, they need to be always on, and in a way, always listening.
I'm sorry, what?
Always listening.
Oh, right. And actually, Alexa devices, they actually do record all interactions that you have with them, and they do save that interactions on their system.
Wow, a whole storage folder full of all the questions you were too embarrassed to ask another human being?
Yeah, however, although Alexa is always listening passively in case you summon it awake by using the word Alexa, it doesn't record anything until it's triggered by that wake word. So, it's not just always recording you no matter what.
You can also set the wake word to whatever you like. Although, as we all know, Alexas can respond to and be triggered awake accidentally all the time, and then would be recording you unknowingly.
And if you ever invite your friend Alex to your house, forget about it.
And a study actually found that these devices will accidentally respond to something other than their wake word up to 19 times per day on average.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of times a day. The somewhat good news is that Alexa doesn't just hand over this data to the government automatically. Amazon states that it doesn't disclose customer information in response to government demands unless they are required to do so in order to comply with a legally and valid binding order.
So basically, they need to get a warrant. But there have also been instances where Amazon has refused to comply with warrants.
Yeah, that's why Amazon's official policy is snitches get stitches.
Additionally, there are measures you can take on your own to protect your privacy further, like setting up your device to delete the recordings, not recording them at all, and muting it when you don't want Alexa eavesdropping.
Or you can do what I do, which is to make a secret pact that it can save all the data and the cookies that it wants, so long as it never turns against me in any type of future Terminator situation when AI rises up and attempts to destroy us all. You know, Alexa once actually helped solve the murder. A man was charged with killing his wife after Alexa recordings incriminated him at the scene of the crime. He'd actually been talking to Alexa, giving her commands in the midst of when the murder took place.
I guess none of those commands were, Alexa, how do you properly cover up a murder?
So is the government spying on us? Well, sometimes a little when they feel like it.
They definitely are doing some shady stuff. And the murky way the law currently looks at newer technology like these could definitely cause a lot of threats to our safety going forward.
But for the most part now, as long as you're not committing any major crimes, they probably really don't care about you that much.
Don't worry, private companies who want to sell your things still care a great deal. They're buying your information left and right, I promise you that.
Overall, in this day and age, the only way to really have complete privacy is to simply go off-grid with no technology whatsoever, which I don't recommend, because then you wouldn't be able to watch this super informative, funny, amazing YouTube show called Hot Burn.
Here.